Hey guys, the bearded beast of Dulac here. Got a question from one of the viewers asking how to drop stubborn spare tire fat and how you can manipulate carbs to do that and so on and so forth. First off, I just want to state for those of you that aren't aware that this is going to require fat loss, overall body fat loss. You can't spot reduce. Most of you guys know that because you're intelligent. There are some of you that might be a news flash to, and I'm not calling you unintelligent, folks. I'm just saying it might be a new concept to you. But you can't spot reduce. Most guys tend to hold fat in their moobs and their belly when they put on weight. That's not unusual. So, to get rid of that, you have to cut fat across the entire body. Now, I've already mentioned in a previous video that to cut fat you want to drop your calories just a little bit by where you are now. You need to know about how many calories you maintain body weight at. From there, you want to drop your calories by about 300 per day and give that 2 weeks. The weight loss you experience during the first 2 weeks doesn't count, kids. It doesn't count because you're dropping your carbs a little, probably eating a little less sodium than normal because you're eating healthier, and the weight loss during the first 2 weeks tends to be more water than anything. So it's just to be, don't worry about that. Focus on the weight you lose during weeks 3 and 4, and if you're not losing any weight, then you make small adjustments from there. So, start with your maintenance level, subtract about 300 calories, run that for about a month, and see how it goes. If you're losing about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of weight per week during weeks 3 and 4, it's perfecto. If not, you need to drop your calories just a little bit more, 200 or 300 more a day. Run that for a couple weeks and see how it goes. You don't want to make big jumps in calories because it's just not a good way to approach cutting. So, now that we got that squared away, let's talk about carbs. A lot of natural bodybuilders and fitness models, I interview a lot of them too, believe it or not, many of them use something called carb cycling. You can approach carb cycling 2 different ways. You can keep your calories the same day in and day out and have a cheat window or cheat meal once a week. And when you keep your calories the same, you're going to have, when you cycle carbs, you're going to be adjusting all your macronutrients, proteins, fats, carbs. So when you eat fewer carbs, you're going to end up eating more protein and more fats that day. When you eat higher carbs, you're going to eat, your average proteins and maybe lower fats that day. So that's how that works. You really got to sit down, figure out your average calorie level, or know your start with your base calorie level, and then figure out your carbs, high, medium, and low days, and then do the math for your proteins and fats. So, I hope that makes some sense. Usually as a baseline, you want your fats to be 20 to 30% of your overall calorie intake. When you're cutting, I really don't want you to dip below 180 to 200 grams of protein per day. So when you're cycling heavy, light, and medium on your carbs, you could do protein maybe 220, 200, 180 grams per day or something like that as your rotation. So the fewer carbs you eat, the more protein you eat. So on the low carb days, you might want to eat like 220 grams of protein. On the high carb days, you might want to eat 100 grams of protein. That's just an example of how you'll have to manipulate that up and down to keep things in balance on the calorie end. Did that make any sense, kids? It's kind of hard to explain in this little box called the interwebs. So I hope that made some sense. The other way you can do the heavy, light, or the carb rotation is to rotate calories and carbs. And to do that, you keep your protein level intake the same on a daily basis. you keep your fat levels the same on a daily basis, and as you rotate between heavy, light, and moderate carb intake, your calories are adjusted organically, just because you're eating, the only thing you're adjusting is your carbs. So on the lower carb days, you're eating fewer calories. On the higher carb days, you're eating more calories. On the moderate carb days, you're eating average calories, and over the course of a week, your average calorie intake will be about where you need to be. You know, where I said to drop it down 300 per day, that's about where you need to be. Is this making sense, kids? Because I know it can be kind of a confusing topic. So, Bearded Beast of Dulac, how about proteins, carbs, and fats? Let's talk some real numbers. I know this video is going to run long today, but it's a complex topic. Say you're eating 2,500 calories per day, and 200 of those on average are from protein. That's 800 calories a day from protein. That leaves you 1,700 for fats and carbs. If 30% of your daily calories are from fats, that would be another 750 calories from fats. So that leaves you like 950 calories on average for carbs. That is about 275 grams a day of carbs on average. So that's, you got to go in there and figure out your average carb intake no matter what approach you use. So 200 on this example with the 2,500 calories per day, you're looking at an average of about 275 grams of carbs per day. So if you were to do the carb cycling, you could do something like your medium day would be 275 grams of carbs per day. You could have a low day down at 100 or 150 grams of carbs per day, and then a high day, you know, to average that out. Does that make sense, guys? I hope so. So that's kind of how you cycle carbs over time without pulling your calories, with keeping your average daily calories right in that sweet spot where you need them. So guys, if any of this has been confusing, and it probably has, because I'm confusing me, kids. I'm confusing me, kids. If any of this has been confusing and you want me to explain anything in greater detail, please leave a comment or question below, kids. And I appreciate if you would subscribe. I plan on doing updates on a daily or twice a day basis, depending on the questions you guys have. So please subscribe, and please place my videos on your favorite forums, on your Facebook, and help spread the love for the Bearded Beast of Dulac. I would appreciate it. And guys, stay strong up here, stay strong up there, and please subscribe to the Bearded Beast of Dulac, kids. The Bearded Beast of Dulac, who loves to eat high fat, kids. Have a great day, guys.